Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today is this sketch right here with a bunch of different elements here. I thought this would be perfect to use up some of my pocket life cards. I'm actually going to be creating a holder for the Disney receipts. Now, sometimes I create a page that holds the Disney receipts. Sometimes I put them in an envelope and put them right into the album. This time I thought I would make a page. So I have my Chamel sticker book. I also have a heart punch-out pad from Paper House. And I already went ahead and pulled a couple of pocket page cards. But look at this, you guys. Like already, there's space in here. I have space. This is amazing because when I started playing with my pocket cards, I had no space. So this makes me happy. Well, let's see what I can do. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start with some white Liquitex acrylic paint, and I'm just going to use a brush to paint white paint over this chipboard eye. Now, I have these 12 by 12 chipboards, and I don't even remember where they came from, but each one has a whole bunch of letters on it. So each piece of chipboard has a variety of fonts for each letter of the alphabet. And every once in a while I pull them out and they're just kind of sitting there taunting me like you haven't touched me in months. So I decided to go ahead and use that big old letter I. Now I am using a mix of papers here. So I have this Simple Stories paper with all these little love signs. And now I'm flipping through this heart project punch-out pad thing. All kinds of different hearts, different shapes, styles, and all kinds of cool papers. Now, I wanted it for this blue color, even though it has some beautiful gold foil and purple on the back of it. I am using it for that blue. Now, I've grabbed these for pocket page cards. I'm pretty sure these are Simple Stories cards, and I'm going to build them up to make one big canvas. I am using some washi tape on the back to hold them in place. I like the placement that I have. I think that it works out well. It's going to go ahead and give me a good kind of base. And then I'm going to add more adhesive to the front so that they don't flip apart from each other. Now, I am sure in the sketch these rectangles were meant to be photos, but you know what? I'm not putting any photos on this layout. Like I said in the intro, in just about every single Disney album, I keep the receipts from our trip. I keep that kind of stuff, and it gets tucked in somewhere, whether it's a pocket page, whether it's in an envelope that gets put right into the binder. And I know that this is thermal paper, and it kind of it can basically disappear over time, but you know, for right now they're going in there. I like them. I especially like it because it says the Outpost, the Star Wars Outpost, and it also says Disney Parks, so that's going to go in there. Now my hunk of receipts is a little bit thick, so I decided to go ahead and place that foam squares all the way around the outside of the edge. And then I'm also going to use this flip flap from Close to My Heart. Now, if you don't have those, you could always cut apart a page protector. One of those pocket page protectors would be perfect as well. And I'm going to make sure to get a good amount of adhesive down on this page because I don't want the little slidey plastic piece that my receipts are going to go in and out of to become dislodged. Like, I don't want that to happen. And then I realized that my receipts were actually sticking to the adhesive because I didn't put my pocket down in the most optimal spot. So I take the receipts out so I can actually see what the heck I'm doing. And then I get those tucked back in now that my little pocket is adhered. We're going to put it right here on the bottom right, just like the sketch calls for. My foam rectangles were kind of living all over the world right there. I am going to figure out where exactly I want the I love. And then I'm going to flip through my Chamel sticker book, and I hadn't realized that I actually used a whole bunch of these stickers. I have a couple sheets in there that are completely used up, so that's exciting. I decided to go ahead and add this chipboard castle from one of the Echo Park chipboard sets, and that's because the layout truly wasn't screaming Disney. It just looks like something that you love a whole lot. So I needed to add in that castle to just give me that little extra Disney vibe. Not that I necessarily had to, because this is going into a specific Disney trip album, but I didn't want it to stick out. I didn't want you to be flipping through and seeing all kinds of different things, but not having any sort of Disney vibe whatsoever to it. And that just doesn't feel good. I wanted it to have something. So I have this striped teal paper, and on the back are these numbers. And I was looking for more because I wanted to stretch the teal stripy bits all the way across the page at the bottom, where you can kind of see it up here in the sketch. So I had one heck of a time trying to find more of them. It's crazy because, you know, Project Life core kits come with a bajillion of each design, and then once I actually do need more than one card of the same design, it took me forever to flip through and find it. So how I'm doing this is I'm cutting a straight line at the edge of the lines here, and I'm just cutting off those rounded corners in the process. And then I'm going to overlap them so that they line up, and now it looks like I have one long card. So I go ahead, I get that down there. It's going to be kind of the base where this big old pocket thing is going to sit on top of it. And now I'm just pulling off the backing of those little foam rectangles. And look at me, I'm doing so good. I'm not throwing it in the floor whatsoever. It actually goes straight into the bin. So progress, people. We are making progress. I do take some of this, what is this stuff called? Tape. I know it's tape, but there's a name of it. I don't know. So I put that on top of the plastic pocket just so I have a little bit more adhesive, because I really don't want that pocket falling off. So I figure if I adhere both sides of it, it's not going anywhere. We throw those in the bin as well, and then I'm going to flip it over and push it down onto my paper so that it stays there. And then I have a little bit of an inner debate on whether I want my castle to be over on the left-hand side of this pocket area, or if I want it in the middle. Ultimately ends up on the left. I think it just looks better that way. Now I'm grabbing this striped pocket card, and I'm going ahead and tuck that up here. Because as you can see over in the sketch, there is a little bit of something that goes up there. And who knows, maybe it is journaling. I don't know. I'm just going to use it as a decorative element. And then I still have this green grid pocket card that I pulled out. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that down, and I'm going to make it into a banner. And this is going to be perfect because I have a little bit of an awkward gap between the polka dotted card and the striped card that I extended. So I don't like that awkward gap there. So we're just going to fix that so that we don't have it anymore with that grid little bit. And plus it represents that little area that's overlapping it in the sketch. So I feel like, wow, I'm hitting all the bars here. Like, yes, it has a big old eye and a big old heart. Got that. It has some basically 4 3x4 shapes. Got those. Getting all the little bits. So I'm checking all the boxes for this sketch. I'm going to flip through my Chamel sticker book again. I just feel like they have a lot of the same kind of colors as these Simple Stories products, which is weird because American Crafts and Simple Stories are two different manufacturers, but it just goes to show you how much is the same across the scrapbooking industry, that the things coordinate, which is good. Like, you don't want your American crafts not to be able to mix with your simple stories, not to be able to mix with your Echo Park, or anything, because if each manufacturer's papers only coordinate it within its own lines, that would suck. That would make me so sad. You know? Because I like mixing and matching this stuff. I get satisfaction out of doing that. Okay, so I ultimately decided not to use the word love on that clear sticker, and that's because it was in the same exact font as the love that I placed down in this yellow sticker. So I'm just trying out my letters, making sure I have enough to spell out what I want to. So the title of this is going to be I Love Everything, and then the journaling / rest of the title is Even the Receipts, which, you know, if you know me and my obsession with Disney, you will understand. Or you might just be rolling your eyes and you might be thinking, yep, that's a girl that scrapbooks Disney trash cans. So, you know, whatever. Whatever you're feeling, I'm cool with it. So I am spelling the word backwards, and that is because I knew exactly where I wanted the word to end, and it doesn't exactly matter where it begins because I can finagle that chipboard letter I around, and it doesn't have to be set to one particular spot on top of the heart. So now I go ahead and get that down. And then I decide that I'm going to also pop up this letter I with some of the foam rectangles as well. Just because there is a lot of height off that page where the receipts tuck into, and I figured I needed some of that height over here on the other side of the page as well. So now I'm just going to go through, find little bits and bobs, and place them down on the page just to give it that little bit of extra, that little bit of oomph, because more is more, especially on Disney pages, more is more. So I flip through my labels and tags and things, and I see this little one. So I tuck that up underneath of the stripey bits, and then I'm going to grab these pink puffy hearts. I'm going to sprinkle them around the page. I just want them, you know, in a couple places. I decide to put one up at the top, and then I decide to put one right in the archway of the castle, just because I think it looks cute there. And then now I'm going to go ahead and get my Mickey head put on, because the Mickey head will go on every single layout that is in this album. And now I'm going to grab some enamel dots, and I'm pretty sure these are from Ellie's Studio, and I end up using the entire line of the turquoisey teal enamel dots. And that is because I cluster them in clusters of 3, where I have 3 different sizes, and then the leftovers I'm just kind of sprinkling about the page, just to give it a little bit more interest, a little bit more texture, a little bit more fun. This is a busy layout, even though there's a lot of flat items on it, just because of the colors and the patterns. So the only thing I do is add the rest of that title, put the date up at the top, and that is going to do it. Thank you guys so much for joining me as I am completing my 100-day project for 100 sketchy videos. And of course that means Follow a Sketch February is going strong. Please go ahead and click the link down below to join the Scrapping Reflections Facebook group if you are interested in playing along with the sketches as well. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.